I'm American like disaster relief to third world countries. I may speak English only as a second language or not at all, pero yo soy Americano. American like Ellis Island and anglicizing last names like Budweiser and Corona or Miller and Modelo. I'm American like fleeing. Fleeing from starvation in Ireland, from Castro in Cuba, from genocide in Croatia, or from poverty in Tijuana. I'm American. I created a document declaring that all men are created equal, while waging a revolution which served as the catalyst for the slow decay of monarchy, so that one day I could stand on land I call my own and pledge allegiance to a flag representing a constitution which once had me amended 3/5 human. I'm American.
I'm JC, the last word vendor, representing hustle and culture, representing Hip Hop Congress, and of course representing my city, Rockford, Illinois. I'm a local spoken word artist and rapper. Well, I've been writing probably since I was in like 2nd grade, you know, writing raps or writing poetry, writing stories. I never performed in front of people until like middle school. I remember I had this language arts class with Miss Portis. She encouraged me to rap and do spoken word in her class, and then I just recently picked it up again about 3 years ago in open mics in the city at Bar 3, Katie's Cup, hosted by Christopher D. Sims, a local poet. Universal Love, really probably a pioneer on the spoken word scene in town, and really encouraged me to develop my craft and continue to give me outlets so that I could continue to develop as a poet. It's important to me just as an expression of myself, just a way to, it's an emotional outlet for me, an intellectual outlet. It helps me work through problems I may be having, work through internal conflicts and external conflicts, and really just a way to build myself up kind of, or empower myself and try to, in the same effort, empower the people around me, empower my city.
It's the word of the arts, and the facts are stated with scripture. If the earth is a canvas, then whose hand is painting the picture? What may seem strange to one and sad to another. The earth started out blank, then someone added the color. Some were glad to have loved her, but others hadn't discovered how the paintbrush must hate us, so now we're tragically smothered. He can't stand on this plank without hammers and tanks, because if the world is at peace, then his canvas is blank. There's so much havoc he's calling for, so it's back to the drawing board.
How has performing spoken word helped me in everyday life? I'm a very shy and reserved person by nature. In high school, I was a kid in the back of the classroom, kind of well-liked, but not really a social or outgoing person. I was kind of like wallflower, so to speak. But being on stage and doing something I love kind of gave me that courage to step outside of my own box and my own shell and put myself out there more. It's helped me connect to people in the city more and just kind of plug into what's going on here. It's taken me places I could have, in the city, it's taken me places I could have never imagined going, and helped me connect with people that I could have never imagined connecting with. It's really beautiful in that respect, and really helped my overall development as a person. So, when I'm speaking with people now, I'm more sure of myself, I'm more confident in who I am.
Then the waves of grain only came after them. Men who died forming pools of blood as wide as the sea, to privilege us with this right to be free, to stand on our land and be all we can be. Yes, we make mistakes, but that's how we learn. So play with the fire to prevent the burn. Keep your knowledge and share it when needed. Move the hair from your face and see life as you see it.
I think that if you look at a music festival like the Waterfront, I think that's a great kind of analogy for the way the city views hip-hop as a whole, in that hip-hop culture is absent from the Waterfront. And as a result, the youth aren't as strong of a presence at the Waterfront as they could be, because the youth relate to hip-hop culture, and that's a culture through which they view the world. And when that's absent from a music festival, they're not going to come to the music festival in as big of a numbers as they would. And again, I think that's a great analogy for the way the city as a whole views hip-hop. So to put hip-hop on a stage by itself in a music festival in the city and say, like, this is our culture, this is what is important to us, and this is what we can do with it, I think that's huge. And to have a group of people who came up in the culture and recognize the importance of the culture, promoting it and saying, hey look, we are capable of doing positive things like with this, and this has been a very positive influence in our lives, and we want to show the whole world that, you know, I think that's going to make a very strong statement to the potential of the culture, to the potential of the different elements, and hopefully just provide youth with an outlet, you know, really help youth understand the core of hip-hop and what hip-hop as a culture is about, because I think, you know, people my age probably grew up like right in the midst of hip-hop really being hijacked by pop culture, you know, and hip-hop really becoming essentially a tool of pop culture and a way to make money in popular music, you know what I mean? And so we were kind of past that Rakim, Public Enemy era. We kind of caught the tail end of that, and the beginnings of hip-hop is really, and pop music almost being synonymous. You know, and I don't think a lot of the youth who grew up after us understand those initial roots of the culture, you know, and this is us trying to bring that back to them, help them understand just how important this culture is, help them understand what they can do with it, just really helping people try to use the tools around them to make sense of their lives, make sense of their world, and you know, hopefully develop in a positive way and relate to their world in a positive way as a result of that.
Claiming in God, we trusted upon the blocks, we keep depending, living unsaved and sinning. Conscious pride, never repenting. Losing our soul, the gate, our broke world, and we think we winning. It's a dreadful story, plus no fiction that makes it worse. Devil laughing at another tortured soul, strengthening curse, even the kids are going. Politicking up on the block, setting up shop to sell rocks and spots that used to be play lots, from hot scalp to copping. From ooh, I'm telling to ooh, don't stop it.
Hip Hop All Elements Festival, September 22nd, 2012. You need to be there. It's going to be a historic event for Rockford, Illinois, a historic event for hip hop culture in the city. We're going to put a lot of people doing big things in the city on stage, front and center, for you to see, for you to witness the culture, and for you to be a part of. I can't imagine being anywhere else on that day. I think it's going to be epic. I'll be there hosting the spoken word poetry slam. $200 goes to the winner, best poet that day. Local poets from Chicago coming out, so you definitely want to be there to witness that. My crew, Hustle and Culture, will be performing at the All Elements Festival, and it's something that a lot of people in the city have put a lot of effort in, trying to connect various performers, various organizers, various artists in the city doing big things in hip-hop, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Again, shout out to DJ Macklin, shout out to Jamie Perez, shout out to Mario Ko, Gorilla Art, Midwest Monsters, Vic and Buddha, everybody doing big things in the hip-hop scene. Shout out to my crew, Hustle and Culture. Shout out to Christopher D. Sims, legend in the spoken word scene here in town. And shout out to my city, Rockford, Illinois. Again, it's your boy Jay Say, the last word bender. I'm out.